Okay, welcome back. A couple of things to review again from the last video. One, when my cavalry from Stuart was eliminated, I didn't adjust or put an SP on the track because remember, I kept the general with the army and didn't make my adjustment there. So the other thing I did have to do is put the cavalry. I play with the optional rule when a general is killed. I replace him with kind of like a second in command. So Fitz Lee will replace Jeb Stuart. For the Confederates, they come back in 3 turns. So he will not, he's basically, Fitz Lee is trying to get a cavalry together, and his estimated time back will be the summer of 1864. So let's keep that in mind. Second thing, when I did reinforcements, when I look back at the map, the Army of the Mississippi actually can't trace a line of reinforcements. They can get a line to Shelbyville, and then Yankees. They can get a line to Franklin, then they can get up to Tennessee, but then nowhere else. So they're going to take a forage hit. So they're going to drop one more from 5 to 4. The Army of the Tennessee is in the same predicament, but they will not take a hit basically because they're already at 2. The other thing to look at besides that as well is, man, I just want to really recognize Forrest's move. I mean, that was not the plan, but just by detaching that cavalry, it changed the whole offensive operation and saved probably Tennessee for a turn and brought all 3 Union armies this way because it cut off their supplies. That would have been a great move in itself, but then to be able to swing all the way around and cut off the supply base here in the capital was honestly an epic move, because here's what's going to happen now. When you look at next turn, and I didn't even think about this, and now that I look at it, the Confederates are going to be able to get a reinforcement right into there, potentially a blockade, and then a unit in North Carolina and South Carolina. So they can potentially get 4 units there. And then strategic move, they can actually get, actually Forrest can't get, Forrest has a rail connection, believe it or not. Culpeper, Gordonsville, Charlottesville, Lynchburg, Appomattox or Appomattox, Burkeville, Petersburg in. So I'll get 4 units. I'll get Forrest in there. And then I've got Pemberton and Jackson coming back. So believe it or not, they're going to be built up pretty quick. It's going to take them they're going to do that strategic move. The Union can't come in with 2 troops. So the Union's probably going to try to get resources in and come back, which might allow the Confederates to build their army again. So that was a huge move there. The other thing to look at across the board there, as I look at it, strategic will. I mistakenly dropped the strategic will at one point during the game. I called 2 battles that were large battles. Only 1 was. So the North is going to get 5 points back. So they're going to go from a 60 back 65 to a 70, which is big. And the Confederates, I also gave them a point, so they will go to 71. So the score is currently 71 to 70. So I think we got that straight as well. So we talked about Jeb's move, which is pretty epic. We talked about Forrest, which was pretty epic. We talked about Grant, which was pretty epic. We got our cavalry back on the track. Again, you look at that. You look at what Grant's doing out here, and he's attacking and he's attacking and he's attacking and he's feeling good about what he's doing. But those battles are costing strategic will points. And what Forrest is doing out here, preventing resources, you look at this turn and the North is like, man, enough is enough. Like, you keep doing these fights. We kept losing all these troops and they're losing that strategic will. And it's really close right now. The game is very close. It is 71 to 70. And the Confederates really are trying to get the Union down 20 more points. That's going to be kind of their focus. The other big move was this closing up the Mississippi. It was a really rough spot. I think it's going to be very hard for the Union to kind of capture that now. But we'll see kind of what happens with that. So the first thing we'll do is we'll put the Union reinforcements on the board. Again, they're going to get 8, and they're going to put them right in the capital. Boom. They're going to get 6 more units that they can basically put back out here again. And knowing I'm going to want to get these into my armies, I'm going to put the 6 in Vincennes again in Indiana, and I'll put the 4 in Jonesboro. I'm going to bring these 10 units this way. They don't have any generals coming in this turn. The Confederates, we're going to have to roll strategic will, blockade zones. We'll go West Coast blockade zone. They got a 4, so they're going to lose 2 more points. 1, 2. They are down to 69. No No resource there. We're going to go to the East Coast blockade zone. They got a 2. They're going to lose 2 more points. We're going to go to the South Atlantic. They lost again, another 2. 1, 2, 65. This next roll is a big one. They really want to get a unit into the North Atlantic blockade zone. They need a 6 for that to happen. They roll. I think you can see it on the board, man. They got a 6. That is, man, that's so lucky and awesome. So they're going to put that unit right into Wilmington. That worked out really well for them. 2, 4, 5, 6, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 is what they'll get. They lost out on 3 SPs or 18,000 troops. I'm going to put my first unit right into Virginia. I'm going to put my second unit into North Carolina to bring him up. My third unit's going to go into South Carolina right there. Okay. I feel good. Can I get any other troops up that way? It's going to take some time to do that. I'm out of supply out here, so I can't put units in there, and that's pretty big. So let's go ahead and put 1 unit in Mississippi in the Army of the West. We'll put him back up to 6. We'll put 1 unit in, oh, I really got to come down and get, man, it might be time to, yike, that hurts. We'll put 1 unit in Georgia up here in Dalton. We're going to put 1 in Alabama. 2, 3, I've got 3 units left. We'll put another 1 in Louisiana down here. That's 4. I got 2 left. We'll put 1 in Arkansas up here. Really want to try to hold on to that. And with 1 left, I'm going to go put this last unit in Florida again. And I'm going to put it in Baldwin, where maybe I can get a 2-unit move. We'll do our moves. So the Union's going to take, they got 8 units up here. They're going to swing basically. I don't want to leave the capital so open where Forrest can attempt to attack it. I don't think he can take it over, but I just don't want to do that. So I'm going to bring 6 units down to Fort Monroe. 6. I'll leave 2 up there. I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave 3 up there and give me 3-to-1 odds. So I'm going to leave 3 up there just in case Forrest doesn't pull back. I will drop the 1 extra unit down at the Fort Monroe, so I'll have 7 there. The other interesting thing about these units up here is if Forrest pulls back, these units actually cannot enter Manassas because they need a corps leader, a leader of their corps to bring them in because it's a Confederate spot. So something to keep in mind. So 7 units down there that didn't make it into the Army. So you can see that 7 otherwise would have been into the Army of the Potomac, and the Army of the Potomac would have been ready to strike, and now they can't do that. So that's going to buy the Confederacy a little bit of time. I'm going to go ahead and take my 6 units in Vincennes. Again, you usually have to move by rail, but if you have an army in supply, you can move them right into the Army. So I'm going to take these 6, and I'm going to bring them right into the Army of the Cumberland. And that's going to move them from a 3 to a 9. So that's 13. I got 2 left. I'll take 2 from Jonesboro. And I'll move them into the Army of the Missouri and bring them up to 7. Okay? The Confederates have their moves. They've got 7. I'm going to take Marion, Wilmington, and Weldon, 3, and bring them all up into Virginia. So Virginia now has 4 troops on it. So they actually have a chance here. That's 3 moves. I got 4 left. I'll bring the unit from, no, I don't want to waste a move with that. I'm going to bring these 2 units in Baldwin. They're going to travel by rail, so they can go by rail basically 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up to, I'm going to bring them into Savannah, actually. And then at Savannah on a future card, I might try to move them up around into this army. So it's going to leave me 3 moves left. I will go ahead, might as well just move these 2 units right now, right into the Army of the West. That'll leave me 1 move left. The Army of the West will go 6 to 8. And with my last move, I will go by rail and take this unit in Dalton and bring it around with this unit in Tuscumbia. And hopefully at some point can get them up to the Army of the Tennessee, which is dangerously low. We'll figure that out. Union has no generals. The Confederate gets back Johnston and they get back Pemberton. So I've only got 4 units there, but when I bring Forrest back, I'll have 5. So Johnston is going to go back into the command of the Army of Northern Virginia. So that worked out. This might work out really, really well and very, very fortunate for the Confederacy. So we are starting the fall. As a reminder, score is currently 70 to 65 in favor of the Union. Let's go do our cards. Confederates get the first card. I did reshuffle the cards, by the way, because I did have the foreign intervention card that did not go off. First card, Confederate event for 3. It's the British Clydesdale Shipyards. I can receive 3 SPs and an open blockade run port. Oh boy, that is huge. So big card for the Confederacy. Union gets a 1 card. They basically can't use it except to potentially activate Grant to attack. Confederacy gets the CSS Virginia. Again, another ironclad I can put into the game. So 2 good cards for the Confederacy to start. Union gets pre-war treachery, but it's a Confederate event, but they can play it for the points. 7 days Chattanooga. For the Confederacy, both sides can use this card. They can basically move 2 SPs from any space using rail. Oh, that is great. So basically I can take that card and potentially rail these 2 units right up into Virginia. That's a huge card to get there. Man, Confederacy is very fortunate. I got an ambush card for the Union. Either side can play it. This card will basically target an enemy cavalry general not located with an army and make a casualty die roll. On a 1 to 3, he's killed. So, wow. So, not knowing what the Confederacy is going to do, if the Confederacy does not move Forrest, you can kind of try to snipe them out. Kind of what happened to Jeb Stuart and Yellow Tavern late in the war. Confederacy gets Confederate desertions, but it's a Union event, so fortunately it will not impact them. The Union's going to get Jefferson David issues. Basically, it's a way to raise strategic will. They can't use the event, but they'll take that for the points. Back to the Confederacy, a Frederick Douglass card, just they can't use because it's a blue event, but they can use the points. Baltimore riots, Union gets a Confederate event. They'll have to use that for the points. All right, some bad press can be coming to reduce the strategic will by 1 for the Union. If I play it for that with the Confederates, that's 3-6. Confederate inflation, so we can reduce the Confederate strategic will as well with the Union. Last card for the Confederacy, Davis can tour the South and increase the strategic will by 3. That's probably a card I'm going to want to play this late because my strategic will is starting to get hurt. And the Union gets dysentery. I remove an enemy SP from any space that contains more than 1 SP. So that might be a way to maybe get the folks in Richmond a little bit sick, or some other spot. Maybe even the Army of the Tennessee, drop it down from 2 to 1 if they can't get reinforcements. So those are the cards, and we will start. The Union will get to go. Okay, the Union's going to get to go. Oh, wait a minute. Go back to the strategic movement segment. I'm going to go ahead and move this unit all the way back to Dalton, Georgia, because the more important move I needed to do was take my rail with Forrest and basically bring him into the capital. So I'm absolutely going to do that. One-handed again, guys, moving chits. Tried using the tweezer prongs, just not working effectively for me. Okay. So the Confederate is going to use these 90-day enlistments expire for the event for 1 point. They're going to use that to basically move the Army of the Potomac. I am going to go into Williamsburg. Well, see, now here's the deal. I can go to Williamsburg, but that would run an interception check. Ooh, I did some bad stuff there, guys. I really put myself in a bad spot. Wow. And what I'm looking at here is that this is a big mistake from the Union. I probably should have left the folks in the Capitol and fought my way back with the Army of the Potomac to pick them up and come back. Because right now, if I pull back to the Capitol, which is what I'm probably going to have to do, is pull back to the Capitol, pick up those 3 troops, maybe come back down, risk an attack, but at least I'll have 5 guys against, they don't have an army yet. That's important. That's very important. So, because what I'm thinking of is if I move to Williamsburg, the commander of, it's not an army yet, so let me get off of that. I made a mistake there. It's not an army yet. So Joe Johnston can intercept me with his corps, and we would have a battle. I'd have a lot more pluses than he does, but I've also only got 2 units, and he's got a lot more. So I'm going to come back up to here. 1, 2, 3 to convert that. 2, 3, 4 to pick up these 3 guys. Here's what I got to watch. Here's where it gets interesting, guys, because I don't want Forrest to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He won't go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Forrest can get all the way to, from here, he can basically go all the way around me and potentially come into the top of Washington here because he can't cross the river. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think as far as he can get is Frederick. Boy, that was a bad move on my part, man. Ugh. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a chance, man. I'm going to take that card back. I'm not going to move him. I'm going to do the ambush. Basically, I can target an enemy cavalry general not located with an army. So because the army is not formed yet, maybe when Forrest is riding back into Virginia, we pick him off. So it's a chance. I need a 1 to 3 to kill him. Here's the roll. I rolled, and I rolled a 5, so it did not work. So Forrest was that's going to be costly. So, damn it, did not work. Forrest was able to escape that trap. So the Confederates are going to take this Confederate desertion card for 2. And what they're going to do is reform the Army of Northern Virginia. So this will all come back off the board again. And I'll put the general marker back on for Forrest. And by doing that, I will add a unit into the army back in. So my army will be at 5. So 5 SPs. You can see how we almost had the Capitol, man. Yike. And now the army's back. More importantly, is it not just the army's back. You're going to have Joe Johnston in command with his 2 defense, Forrest with his 3 cavalry, and Pemberton with his 1. And Grant is up against it again, man. And now Grant is in a bad spot because he's only got 2 units. So guess what he's going to do this turn, right? He's basically going to go ahead and play that 1 card now. He's going to unfortunately get out of dodge. So 1, 2, 3, convert that. 4 up into Frederick, where he will drop a unit off to kind of at least hold up there. And then he'll add these 3 units into his army. So his army will go up 3 from there. So he'll go from 1 to 4. So, man, that cutting that supply line was just vital. And that's going to buy the Confederacy some time. So the Confederacy is going to go ahead and play the 7 days Chattanooga. I may move 2 SPs from the same space using rail connections. Only 10 space maximum to the same space with the general. Who's then activated and must attempt to empty a space with at least 1 or more enemy SPs or a fort. So I definitely don't want to go on the attack here. I don't want to use this for the attack anywhere with the Confederacy. So I'm probably going to wind up using that for the points. Not being in a major rush anywhere to do anything. See, that's a 3 card. That's a 2 card. So I will play this 7-day campaign for 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these resources from Savannah, move them along rail, so I can get a movement of 5 plus 2 for the rail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and get them up to Goldsboro. So my army in Northern Virginia is going to get 5 to 8 before that Union army can hit me, pretty much. So we'll move back to the Union. Union's going to play that 3 card of pre-war treachery, and they're going to take 3 units from Fort Monroe. So that'll go from a 6 to a 4. Major, major blunder. Those 4 units are going to go back to DC by sea, so they'll go 4 to 8. That's going to leave, that was 6. It's going to leave 2 units behind. We go back to the Confederacy. We're going to play the Frederick Douglass card for 3. And all we're going to do is move these 3 units right back into the capital. And the army is going to go 5 to 8. So just like that, the Confederate Forrest's ability to do what he did bolstered the Army of Northern Virginia way back up again to miraculously 8 units. Wow. Wow. All right, Union's going to go. I've got to be able to do some magic now. Army of the West is sitting with 8, and they have a defense of 2 with a cavalry. Who's my stronger attack force out here? Army of the Missouri. Army of the Cumberland has got 9. All right, 2. All right, I'm going to activate the Army of the Cumberland, who is sitting with 9 units. They do have a +2. I'm going to try to just destroy that Army of the Tennessee out there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I can get intercepted, and I probably will. But I've got to start hitting them, man. I've just got to start hitting them, and I'm kind of pussyfooting around too much here. So let's go ahead and do that. Army of the Cumberland, with 9, they're going to need a 2 card to activate. So I'll use the Confederate event for that. Let's go ahead and do it. So they will move 1, 2, 3. We're going to convert this space. 2, 3. We're going to go 4, 5, and then we're going to attempt to attack right here. Before I move into that spot, the Army of the Tennessee will try to intercept. Remember, I got Lee there, who's a 3 plus Cav, so I need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I rolled a 2, so the Army of the Tennessee will intercept. You might say, why did I give up the fort? I'm still going to get the +2 here with the intercept. So let's go see what happens there. So let's roll the dice. All right, Union rolled a 2, Confederates a 5. So let's look at a couple of modifiers here. The Confederates have a 5. They got Lee for 3 is 8. This is a small battle, medium battle, 8. Morgan is 9. And then I'm going to use Bragg so I don't risk losing a general. So I got 9 wounds. I can't, even with +2 because I intercept is going to give me 11. So there's going to be a potential general down here. So max results will be 3 wounds to the Army of the Cumberland. So they'll go 9 to 6. Remember, the Army of the Cumberland was sitting at a 9. The Army of the Tennessee was at a 2. 2 times 4 is 8, which means I will get a +3 for a 4 to 1 modifier. So my 2 plus 3 becomes a 5. I get +1 for the general is 6. Although I'm going to lose his +1 because I don't have cavalry. But I will have Hancock, which is a +1. So my 2 plus 3 is 5, +1 is 6. 6 wounds, attack is rolled. The defender is going to lose 2 units. So that is going to wipe that army out, which is bad. So here's the difference now. There is no fort there. So because there is no fort, this army is going to come off the board. The Army of the Cumberland will occupy that space, even though they lost. The Confederates are going to lose 5 more strategic will for losing another army. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This army can't come back on the board until next turn. As well as they've got, let's roll for a potential general casualty. They rolled a 1, and 1 in this case is going to be Morgan. So Morgan will be out. His replacement, again, because I play with the replacement rules, just give me 1 minute to, I don't have that memorized. Morgan's replacement is Armstrong. So we're going to go ahead and bring Armstrong on the track, but he can't come in for 3 turns. So he's going to be out for a while. Where's my Morgan? Is Armstrong. Where is he? I'll have to find him, but he's going to come in 3 turns, and which basically means in fall of 1864. So, oof, that hurt. So Robert E. Lee, Albert Sidney Johnston, and Bragg will all go to the track to come in next turn. Big victory out there for the Union. All right, what's the South going to do now? South sees a potential opportunity here. Army of the Mississippi, they've got a +3. Do they now hit the Army of the Cumberland and try to knock them back? I almost feel the need to do that. 1, 2, 3. Army of the West is pretty strong as well. Do they hit the Army of the Tennessee? Army of the Tennessee is pretty... they only got a 1 defense, but they got the fort there. My 1 card no longer allows me to control any of my generals because I just lost Lee. No, I can control Van Dorn with the Army of the Mississippi with it. Army of the Cumberland does not have cavalry. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2 to convert this space back, 3, 4, 5 to convert this space back. The Army of the Cumberland, what the hell, let's try to intercept. They need a 1. They did not get it, so we will have a battle here. Army of the Mississippi is at 8. Is it 4? Oof. Boo, 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 boo. Oof. Let's not do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put those back. I will double check on the video that I'm putting these back in the right spot. Yeah, because remember I couldn't do that. That looks good. All right. All right, the Army of the Mississippi is going to go 1, convert this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pick up this unit, and then come back up 1, 6. So at least we can get 1 more unit in that 4 to 5. And I'll play the Davis towards the South card for that. Back to the Union. All right, the Union is going to play this dysentery card. We're going to play it. Shit got sick in New Orleans real quick, so it's going to be a little nasty. I can play this to remove an enemy SP from any space that contains more than 1 unit. That would have been nice there. I got 2 on this fort. I definitely want to get their units down. So let's, they're going to lose to attrition out here if they don't do anything. Let's take 1 unit from Vicksburg. So a little sickness hits Vicksburg, pulls that out. We go back to the Confederacy. I'm going to play 1 card again to get Van Dorn moving. 1, 2, 3, 4 to pick up this unit and get his army up to 6. That's 4. 5 and 4. We'll go back to Decatur, 5, back to Steuben at 6. So at least I got 2 armies here doing their hold. We'll go back to the Union. The Union will get Grant on the move again. So Grant will go 1, 2, 3. It's interesting here because what I'm looking at basically is the ability for Forrest to detach and do his same shit again. So do I just go ahead and hit the Army of Northern Virginia, knowing that they're going to get a 2 bonus, 3 is a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with their fort plus their roll and potentially lose a general? Whereas, yeah, I'm going to do it, man. I've got to do it, man. I'm going to play that 2 card. I'm going to have it go 1, 2, 3. The Army of Northern Virginia will try to intercept. They were able to intercept, so there will be an interception right outside the Capitol. And let's go ahead and roll for this one. Oof. Confederacy rolls a 4. 2 for the Army of Northern Virginia. That's a 6. 3 for Forrest. 7, 8, 9. 1 for Pemberton, 10. Interception, 2 more. So they get a max results. Max results on the medium table will be 3 losses for the Army of the Potomac. They will go 8-5. There will be a loss on that side. The Army of the Potomac rolled a 5. With Grant is 6, 7, 8. They don't have a cavalry, so they're going to lose 2. That's a 6. They will get +1 for Rosencrantz. 7 +1 for Meade is an 8. And 8 will be 2 losses for the Army of Northern Virginia down to 6. The win will go to the Union. I mean the Confederacy. So the Confederacy is actually going to hold that spot. And the Union's going to have to back up 1. But what I was really trying to go for here was a casualty. So we're going to roll my dice. I rolled a 3 for the Union, which is a fine because they did not exceed 10. They needed a 1. I rolled a 4 for the Confederacy, so no one gets hurt in that battle. We go back to the Confederates. And I'd love to hit Fremont here. He's basically got 2 units, and Smith is sitting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. Really won't be much of a battle. All right, let's get some bad press. I'm going to reduce the the Union strategic will by 1. Anything I can do to get them closer, I've got to take advantage of that. So that's going to drop them down to a 69. So it's 69 to 60. Grant's going to swing again. All right, no interception this time. Oh boy, the Confederates are going to try to retreat because they won't get the +2 defensive right now. So they're going to try to retreat back into the Capitol. And they rolled a 3, so that's successful. So they will retreat back into the Capitol. Potomac will move up 1, and they will attack again. They will not be retreat this time, so let's roll our dice. 5 and a 4. So the 4 for the Confederacy +2 for Northern Virginia is 5, 6. 7, 8, 9 for Forrest. 10 +2 is 12, so there'll be a casualty there. Max results, 3 more losses. The Army of the Potomac goes from 5 to 2. The Army of Northern Virginia, I rolled a 5. 1 for Grant is 6. 7, 8, and 8 results are going to be 2 losses. So Army of Northern Virginia will go from 6 to 5, 5 to 4. Let's see if we lose a general. Nope, 6 and a 6, so everybody's fine there. So the Confederacy's got a couple options. One is, do I bring my unit around to cut supply again? But I think the Union learned their lesson and will be able to pull back. They're at 2, so they're not going to forge or lose anything from that. This 3 card, though, will allow me to get 3 SPs, and I'm short on units, and I'm going to take those 3 units. So I'm going to put 1. Basically, I can put 1 per blockade runner port. No more than 1 per port, but I can put multiple per zone. So I'm going to put 1 in Moorhead. I'm going to put 1 in Wilmington, and those are 2 units I'm going to get up there. And I'm going to put my 3rd one in Norfolk. I'm going to make it real. That's 3 units. I'm going to bolster that up, plus the units I get in there next turn. So big move there for the Confederacy. So that's going to end the turn. And right now, Strategic Will is going to be a 69 to a 60. And right now, look at this game. To me, it's favoring the... It goes back and forth, the Confederates. So what will happen at the end of the turn, we'll do some attrition. So Smith's going to lose 1 out here. I got 2 units here. We're all good there. Let's go look at our armies now. Army of Northern Virginia will lose 1. Go down to 4. Mississippi will lose 1. West will lose 2. So they're straight. Army of Cumberland loses 1. Army of the Mississippi loses 2. And the Tennessee loses 2. So we got those straight as well. Who's coming in next turn? As a reminder, I will get Lee, Bragg, and Johnson back, plus potentially being able to form an army. So that's all definitely big. I will also get John Bell Hood, who I actually think is there's a lot of debate, not a lot of debate, a lot of people criticize his campaign into Franklin and Nashville. I actually think it was a phenomenal campaign. I'm going to do a shameless plug. I actually wrote a novel, which kind of plays like this game. It's extremely historically accurate in the entire Civil War. What I changed is late 1864, Davis convinces Lee to take over the command of the Army of Tennessee instead of Hood. And if you know anything about that, Lee will arrive right at Spring Hill while the Union Army is walking past the Confederates who are kind of sleeping for the night, which was Hood's big missed opportunity. But what happens if Lee gets there, sees that, and while Hood is supposedly on his laudanum, knocked out in his room from that narcotic, what if Lee takes control, gets Forrest, gets Cheatham, gets the troops aligned, and really hammers the retreating Federal Union? How does that impact the battle at Franklin and then potentially Nashville? Again, shameless plug, but there it is. Okay, back to where we're at. So I will get that in next turn. I will get Hood. The Union is going to get McPherson, which is a very good win for them. They're going to get Sherman, which is huge because Sherman is like Grant. He's a 1-3-3. So that's going to be a lot of strategic firepower. They're also going to get Schofield, who's a 1-1. So big news there. And then I think that's everything. And then I will wind up getting cavalry for the Union in 1864, and I could really use that cavalry now. I might move some cavalry around to get him to the east, because I think if I had that cavalry there, I probably would have won Virginia twice over already. So I'll go to make that happen. We got a fort exposed up here. I don't think Tennessee has fallen yet. Let's just do a check. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 spots in Tennessee. 2 more spots. 12 spots. Sorry. 1 more space in Tennessee is going to fall. and that's going to hit 10 strategic will on the Confederacy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I need one more spot in Tennessee. It will fall. And, oh no, wait a minute, I think it fell. Sorry for the counting over and over and over again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Tennessee does fall, guys. I had that wrong. So Tennessee is going to fall. So the Union has captured Tennessee. That was definitely big. So they will get a marker over it. It is gone for the game. And also, importantly, that's going to reduce one more reinforcement coming in next turn for the Confederacy. And it's a 10-point hit. So they're going to drop from 60 to 50. So that was a big, big hit. So Tennessee is now out of the battle. They will no longer be, well, you can still recruit troops in Tennessee in their open spaces, but it's going to cost me one less resource per turn. That was a big, big loss. So, wow. Yeah, I didn't realize I was able to take that with the Union. Great for the Union. So that's it. We'll see you next time. Definitely looking forward to it. We'll get it set up. And, oh, and 5 strategic will hit at the end of the turn as well. So we'll go down to 4. Basically, the Union getting tired of the battle. So they are at a 64. They're 14 points away. And the Confederates going to do everything they can to sap 14 strategic will from the Union before that election. So we'll see what happens. Thank you.